right, welcome back. Now, I know why I'm here. You know why I'm here. You saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. Let's get into the content. Now, if you're not familiar with MKBHD whole drama right now, it's him selling a product, right? We literally talked about this in our last video about content creators selling products and it not doing well. Why didn't it do well? Well, let's get into it. He sold panels. He sold an app. Why do people hate an app, right? At the end of the day, it's just a product that you can either use your phone for, get rid of it, not download it. But let's go into why or how this product got released, right? And it was on his last iPhone update. I watched it. I thought it was pretty cool. Didn't think much of it, but I think a lot of the internet hate it. So let's see why, right? Let's find out why the announcement happened on his iPhone 16 release video. So
a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. Profound new intelligence.
let me skip through. It happened. Yeah, there we go.
Brand new, and I've been testing them for about 2 weeks now. But you know what I've been doing way longer than 2 weeks? Working on a new app that we are finally launching. You guys have always been asking me where I get my wallpapers. Like, it's frequently the #1 suggested search result under my name.
Let me know. I never even questioned it. I never questioned where someone gets their wallpapers from, right? Like, you can question where he gets like a design aspect from. Where does he get his carbon fiber, everything from? I never questioned where does, actually let's do that. Where does MKBHD? That could have been a new thing. That could have been a new thing. I'm skeptic. I don't believe it.
Has been for years. So now we've put them all in one place. It's called Panels, and it's finally live in the App Store, both on iOS and on Android. Feels really good to be able to say that.
I downloaded the app. I'm going to get into it later. I just have some talking points.
So if you're wondering where the wallpaper on these phones in the review came from, Panels. If you're wondering where the wallpaper in the last video came from, Panels. Matter of fact, almost all of the wallpapers on the devices and in backgrounds you've seen in my videos for the past year have all come from Panels, which is pretty sick. We have a bunch of awesome artists over there.
Now, this is one thing that, like, I get it, that a lot of people have like an artistic aspect to them, that they care about a detailed breakdown, I don't know, high quality wallpaper. Let me know. I mean, I'll just type in like wallpaper. And like the first thing, I want a space wallpaper. Cool. Right there. Right click. Got it. Right. Like I don't think 2 seconds in. I don't think that deep into what a wallpaper is. If anything, it could be like your family, your significant other as your wallpaper, just something, right? Like, I don't need to pay for a wallpaper. Do you guys pay for wallpapers?
That we are splitting profits with 50-50. And there's already a ton of great collections
Hold on.
over there.
We missed
that
something.
year
We missed something. We
have
talked
all come
about paying 50-50 with the artists, which I completely am for. Realistically, if he would have came out a little bit differently on this product, where he said that I'm not going 50-50, but I am creating a marketplace for artists to sell art, and it wasn't just limited to wallpapers, right? Just anything digital art. I think he could have producted that a little bit better, right? The whole creator economy is all about presentation, and he could double down on how it's just nice art, but I don't think that would have stopped the hate. Where if he doubled down and said, I am creating a marketplace, I am using my voice to help others, that could have been a great way forward for him.
From Panels, which is pretty sick. We have a bunch of awesome artists over there that we are splitting profits with 50-50. And
yeah, 50-50, that's one of those things where it's like, you created, okay, thanks. You created the marketplace. What do most marketplaces take? 70-30. I mean, that's on a strong end, right? That's the iOS store, 70-30. So like, could you offer something better, right? Like, I mean, you're trying to push, this is for the creators, this is for the artists. Hopefully you could push something better.
There's already a ton of great collections of art and much more incoming. And we have some pretty big plans for this thing. So it's starting off as a wallpaper app now. I don't want to overpromise too much, but it's going to be pretty consistently improving over time, which is part of the reason why we're offering a subscription.
If that's the case, it shouldn't have been just a wallpapers app on launch. Just like a video game, you have to judge the product that we have. Remember, I'm going to download it. We'll check it out. Actually, I'm going to get started on that now.
Subscription to support it. So go pick it up now. Poke around, find your new favorite wallpaper, your new favorite artist, and let me know what you think. it's kind of fun to be on the other side now, on the development side, where now other people are going to review what we make.
It doesn't have
which
good
is always
a
exciting.
good history
Anyway,
on it.
so
It already
the
has like
meta with new
1 star
smartphones
overall.
these days is a
Downloaded.
bunch
All right.
of incremental hardware improvements, and then a
We're good.
whole
We're
bunch
good.
of AI features that also are being added on top, which is where the real value is. And while they're a little late to the game, Apple has
Okay.
hit that
And
chapter
that was
too.
pretty much the introduction, closing, the whole reason why people hate this. It was probably a minute long pitch, right? Nothing detailed. First line in the description, get his panel, panels.art or MKBHD merch. Let's click on his merch. Let's see what everything else that other people hate, right? Quality tech videos, shop, hoodie, canister, water, hydrate, cheers. Okay, so he sells other products. So why was the hate towards this one application? Let's get into it. Now, Forbes, Marquise Brownlee, panels, backlash explained. They go deep into who it is, who's MKBHD. Everyone knows who MKBHD is. We're not going to explain that. What happened to Marquise Brownlee app? Now, critics, the moment it was released, many commenters baffled the idea of a subscription-based wallpaper app. Now, again, everyone sees that it's wallpaper, but if he would have fully flushed his product out on launch, saying that this is a digital marketplace, everyone asks where I get my wallpapers from, where I get my art that I use in my studio. This is, I don't know, Eduardo. He's my digital artist. He's the one that helps create, but I partnered with other digital artists who are now on this marketplace. If you like them, go there, right? 70-30 split. Hopefully it goes lower. The initial cost of operational expenses are hurting initially. It's like one of those things, like just the way that he presented it, he could have done better. Imagine having a large enough audience to make almost any idea work, and then settling with a subscription-based wallpaper app. Now, I don't know why he did the wallpaper subscription-based. I mean, I do money, right? But he could have just settled with like pay-per-play, right? You want this product, you want it at like super high def, just buy it. $2. I don't know, something, have it. Even have it settled where it's like a baseline. Every product's going to be $1. Every product's going to be $5. Just, everything. So that way a really rich artist and a really like poor artist who's just struggling out and grinding it out could hopefully do something like that, right? They're all playing on the same platform. It says for $12 a month, Panel provides high definition wallpapers for phones, hefty price tag for something that's been readily available online for free. Yes, but also I don't know if it's been readily available, right? Because if we're talking about the digital renaissance of like content online, yes, I can take it. I mean, technically movies are digitally readable online, right? Like, like if you're a pirate, you know what I'm talking about, but freely available online doesn't mean that you can just immediately have access to anything. Golden rule of the internet: never try to charge for something that has always been, already free. Yes, but no. I mean, hell, like YouTube didn't have ads and now it has nothing but ads, and you're getting pushed towards YouTube Premium the entire time. So that's going to be up to you, right? Commentators noted on the app was overpriced, invested with intrusive ads, collected an excessive amount of user data. Brownlee responded that many of the criticisms backlash turned into a tsunami. That's one of the things. Don't engage, right? When you have the backlash on the platforms, regardless if you're a small creator or large creator. I mean, it's just how that works, right? I mean, look at Mr. Beast. I don't think he said anything. It is what it is. Like if you're an app developer, specifically not a web dev or a software dev, specifically an app developer, let me know in the comments what's the different levels of permissions that are required when it comes to creating an application, just something basic as a wallpaper, because I'd imagine it needs a high level of permissions just to even set the baseline of a wallpaper 24/7, right? It's going to need almost everything. And I think with Apple and with almost all of the other Apples, Googles, it just links to your entire admin rights. So it's going to require like location, it's going to require current usage, just overall information of your account. Beyond the legitimate criticism, there was more than a hint of Shandon Fru from, all right, whoever wrote that article. Hold on, you guys see this? You guys see that? What the hell is that? That's not a word. From many of the critical comments, with some seeming to relish Brownlee's deceived downfall. Now, I don't know if this is just like the land of like cancellation where people just hate something. Because realistically, how many people that hated this downloaded his app? The app has 2,000 reviews. Let's just give it a conservative estimate that 20% of those were just hate reviews, right? They didn't even care about the product. They just wanted to 1-star it because they hate the idea. That's a relatively small amount. Still 2,000 people in total. I mean, out of, let's just say, because realistically, I think it's like a 5% review rate. So having 2,000 people just giving it a 1-star, I don't know anyone who cared about this kind of product before he even announced it. Realistically, if he were to just say like, hey, I'm creating these shirts, which he already has, and I'm not going to say that these are print on demand, but they're print on demand with his logo, right? They might have bought the product, they might have wore the product, they might have, presented the product, but it's likely that this is outsourced. A product like this is outsourced. So at the end of the day, what are you hating on? Right? Like, I mean, content creators are going to content create. And now in 2024, the creator economy that I talked about in my other video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the content for more discussions like this. They're going to find ways to make money on their products, right? Oh, he's back. The content creators are going to find a way to make money on their products. So what's the right way? Right? But at the end of the day, I don't know why people hate when people make money. I get it. I understand that people hate it, but you can't. I mean, if someone's making a $40 long sleeve shirt, that's a product that you can either choose to not care about and never go to this website. Or if you actually want, oh, here's the website. I clicked on it. If you want art, are you someone who pays for art? Right? If you're someone who pays for art, you're okay with buying art, right? If you're someone who doesn't like art, you don't want to buy art, right? So it's like, this is not for me, right? My kids are going to be my background. So it's like, I don't care. But like, if you're someone who wants to pay for a digital artist to make a sculpture, that's your concern, right? That's not my concern. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, if someone like that buys something like that, that's their money. It's not my money. But I don't know. Do you care about an MKBHD candle? This is $35, right? Like, I don't, giving someone money for art doesn't seem like a big issue to me. So I've seen a lot of people call this like a scam. Like, I don't understand. How are you seeing this as a scam? Is it a little bit price? Have I seen it? Hold on, let me see. I swear OBS has. Have you seen this? Because I'm just going over his application, and I just downloaded it. Hold on, let me see if it's done. I just downloaded the panels wallpaper, so I'm gonna go over it. I don't understand why people hate this. Open. Okay. As seen on MKBHD. But here's the thing: I don't care about wallpapers. I get it that people I can download a movie. Like Pirate Bay's been around for a long time, but like, I don't care. I'm not someone who downloads wallpapers. So it's like, I get it. Like, if you want to, like, it's like, if you want to download wallpapers, go all for it. Like, I see, yeah, it's doing pretty bad. It only has like 1 star. No, 2 stars. 2 stars. Hold on. 2-star rating. But I think Robinhood got rid of all of their 1-star apps. I think they could just say something about wallpapers. But here's for me, I mean, wallpapers. If I want a wallpaper, like, you just right click and call it a day. Like, I'm someone who has like a space background. Wallpapers, space, cool. Next, right? Like, but like, if I'm someone who wanted to pay for an artist to create something that I want, I'm not against that. And he talked about giving an artist, I think, 50-50 split.
It's starting off as a wall, consistently improving 500 over time, which is part of the reason why we're offering a subscription to support it. So it could be pretty consistently improving over time, which is part of the reason why we're offering.
That's another thing. He said it's going to be increasing over time, which he's a tech YouTuber. If someone were to say, we're going to give you this product and it's going to be ass up front, but we're going to be building it up over time, he would have, had a negative review on that. So it's like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But even then, like, who downloads wallpapers? Like they change clothes. I don't know. I mean, you can let me know. Like, it's like, how many times have you changed wallpapers this year? Do you pay for art? I don't. I don't know. My wife might, but not me. I don't buy candles. I don't buy a dog leash. That doesn't mean I'm gonna hate that this person is selling all of these kind of things. Let's see. Let's see. Peace. The worst product I've ever reviewed for now. I think he made a video. Who is it? Was it the Fisker car?
All right, so first thing I did when I got back from Australia was
Okay, we heard you talk. I don't need. He has a lot of channels too. And he has a lot of channels. He's been working on podcast after podcast after podcast. I think it was the Fisker car where he essentially said it was like the worst product he ever reviewed. And people were blaming him for shutting down the industry and making the company go bankrupt. It wasn't him. The product was just bad, and that he's gonna have to eat this loss. He's gonna take this L that because the product's bad. All right. So, but here's the thing: this isn't the only product he's made that people hate. He's made shoes. He's made bad shoes. Like, I don't know about you, but like, these aren't $200 shoes. These are. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get some reviews. MKBHD shoes. I don't want it under the MKBHD subreddit. Let's go under like a regular like shoe head subreddit. Reddit. Thoughts on his new shoe. Okay, hold on. Let's go. Let's go. It's like he's made products before that were bad, but it's okay. Here, let me go to one. It's okay that content creators can make products. I'm standing on that hill. My hill is going to be where the value comes from, right? Do you pay for art? Yes? No? Okay, if you don't, then this doesn't concern you and you can move, you can exit stage left, right? Like, it reminds me of Zara sneakers. Something that you would find on Ross. I don't think he doesn't go to fashion. Yeah, he doesn't have a fashion for sneakers. Okay. Look at the shoe. It's video game resemblance for the licensing. Grand Theft Auto looks like something you'll find at H&M. How can someone so obsessed with design create this debut into the sneaker world? It's like, all right, I'm not gonna clown him. He's, he is what it is. But panels wallpaper. There's like someone's trying to use his like panels logo to leech off of, and it's also called panels. And it looks like a meditation app. There's like two kind of styles. I don't know if you can like copyright that, but it's like panels mindful motivation. I'm guessing that they were there first. Only 26 reviews. Looks like he's doing good. If anything, he could just like rebrand it to a mindset app. But like the issue is like it's an app that sells wallpapers. Like you want that out? You want that one? Cool. Get the wallpaper. Get the wallpaper. And it looks like you can unlock with the full resolution or unlock with SD. So if I click on unlock with the full resolution, it's going to, okay, it gives me to a paywall. So annual $50, monthly $12. But I don't know. I just like, there shouldn't be an opinion on a product that you can just avoid. I don't care about Lunchables, so therefore I don't care about Mr. Beast's Lunchable product. Now, let's see what other people have to say about this Panels app. Review. See, I don't want the whole like good or bad. I want like a detailed breakdown of it. Wallpapers, Panels app review, Twitter versus MKBHD. Oh, there was a dude, Omizi. Omizi made a video on him. I butchered that last name. Let's see. Hold on. Let me find it. Technical difficulties. Okay, we're not going to do that. I'm going to click on the first one. Reviewing his actual app. Let's just review it. You know the rules. If there's an ad, you got to hydrate.
does it, but MKBHD just continues to grow and grow. So not only is he like one of the largest, if not the largest tech YouTubers, but he also plays Ultimate Frisbee. He has multiple other channels like his podcast channel, as well as his autofocus channel. And he also has a doctorate degree that he was working on the entire time of doing everything else.
What? No, he doesn't.
It's safe to say that guy has
What? He has a doctorate degree? Hold on. MKBHD degree? There's no way. What did he major in? Business and IT, ground. Doesn't have a PhD. MKBHD PhD. He has an honorable. Okay, it's sweetheart, MKBHD, PhD. He has to have an honor, right? Hold on. Deliver his commemorative speech. They had to give him an honorary, yeah? I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna stop the video for that.
has the endurance of a racehorse. But recently, as you may know, he released an app, a wallpaper app by the name of Panels, and personally, I think this app completely missed the mark. So the app Panels gives you access to high quality 4K wallpapers, and I think that's, I think that by itself is a great idea. People love wallpapers, and MKBHD mainly...
See, it's like at that point, like, are wallpapers bad? No. What's the cost and value behind a wallpaper? I don't know. I don't care. It's not my thing.
Reviews, mobile phones, so it's kind of safe to assume that, well, he reviews phones. Let's make an app for wallpapers for phones. That makes sense. But the experience of actually using the app and the price of the app is where a lot of people are giving him criticism, and that's a good thing. You need criticism to understand what you can do to improve. I truly don't understand those people that are saying, well, if you don't like the app, just don't download it. You don't have to talk about it. That's actually hurting.
No, here's the thing. You have to review the product, but if you're not the ideal audience for that product, you can't judge the financial aspect of that product then.
MKBHD, because if you're releasing something, if you're releasing a product, your goal is to get as many people as possible to download that product. To do that, you need to listen to the criticism to understand what you can do to make that product better, to get even more people to download it. So by people saying, oh, just don't talk about it, don't download it, you don't have to be ranting about it, that's hurting MKBHD because he needs to hear the criticism. So my opinion, the Panels app pushes people away, especially for those that don't want to pay $50.
But you can still use the product. It has a freemium aspect to it where if you have one echelon, you could still use the product. You just have to watch like a 10-second ad to get the standard definition version of a wallpaper. Which, like, realistically, if you just want to go through and look at cool wallpapers, to go and get a free version of it with high quality, I don't know, using ChatGPT or DALL-E or whatever your source of, video or image AI is going to be, then so be it.
A year for that app. Yeah, it's $50 a year or $12 a month. There's no like one-time purchase, like one-time lifetime purchase. It's $50 a year or $12 a month for a wallpaper app. That's so much. There's apps.
And that's the thing, right? It's like the level of value that people are going to perceive and be, judgmental towards. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing that people are judging that his $30 an app, right? Or $50 a year or $12 a month app. Let's see.
So just this week, Marcus Brownlee, known as MKBHD, started teasing his own app on Twitter.
I speed everything up. I don't know what it is. I think it's my ADHD brain, but I just gotta fast forward it.
It's a big thing when a YouTuber like him announces something like that, so people got pretty excited and curious about what it's gonna be, and oh, it's a wallpapers app.
So go pick it up now. Poke around, find your new favorite wallpaper, your new favorite artist, and let me know what you think. It's kind of fun to be on the other side now. On the development side, where now other people are going to review what we make, which is always exciting.
And people did review it. They did give their criticism, and it's a lot, so let's unpack this together and see what happened. It all started with this tweet, where MKBHD launched this new app for both iPhones and Android devices. That's a plus. But people quickly picked up on a few things. First concern was privacy. Right after downloading and opening this app, it asks you to allow tracking your activity across other apps and websites. Also, apparently it needs to know your location.
Yeah, like let me know if you're like an app developer down in the comments. Like, I don't know what levels of details you have to put into your app for the levels of permission that you're essentially going to give, like these developer advertising and marketing, right? That could just be a basic ad level of permissions, which the purchase history makes sense. I don't know about the locations. Is that like a default permission requirement for being on your wallpaper, right? Because that the level of permission to be a wallpaper, I'd imagine, is going to have to be high, right? It's like a default image that's now permanently assigned to your phone, which you're going to have to give access to your images, right?
Your search history, contact info, a wallpapers app. Another issue people saw as concerning is the pricing. You can technically use this app for free, but not really. And I'm not even talking about the enormous amount of ads. I'm talking about the fact that if you want to download your favorite JPEG, you can only get an SD version. Seriously, you expect me to watch 2 unskippable ads for a pixelated image? For someone who criticizes Apple for limiting their regular iPhone displays to 60 Hz, it's pretty funny to be expecting people to be happy with 1080p resolution wallpaper. I mean, sure, even the bigger iPhones don't support the Ultra HD resolution in pixels, but I would expect more from someone who's using an 8K footage to make videos people will most likely watch on a 6-inch phone. Of course you can pay to get the full resolution, but here's where we get to even more problems. First, the price itself. It's $12 per month or $50 for a yearly subscription. And maybe $50 doesn't sound like much to someone who was just flexing his new matte black Porsche 9.
Yeah, and I think that's where the level of like disillusion is going to happen. How much do you pay for wallpaper?
11 on the other channel, but it's a lot for an app with just a bunch of JPEGs. And Marquez says they split the revenue 50-50 with the artists.
We have a bunch of awesome artists over there that we are splitting profits with 50-50.
And his share goes to the app development, but it is kind of ironic hearing this from someone who posted this tweet just 3 years ago. Never ever buy a tech product based on the promise of future software updates. And now he says,
And we have some pretty big plans for this thing. So it's starting off as a wallpaper app now. I don't want to overpromise too much, but it's going to be pretty consistently improving over time, which is part of the reason why we're offering a subscription to support it.
yeah,
Again, like if he were to talk about that of another tech product that he's reviewing that they say that they're going to make promises for, he's not going to be as lenient.
okay, I wouldn't even have any issue if we actually paid the artists. I think they deserve the money for the time they spent mastering the art and actually making the piece. But this collection, for example, was clearly generated by some AI model and upscaled. You can see the typical artifacts that AI struggles with. And if you're looking for some new wallpapers, I made this wallpaper pack with my own pictures. It's linked in the description, and it's free, even though I had to wake up at 3 AM, take a metro train to be in the city center at 4, and capture this picture, for example, in a freezing fog with my Canon camera. Meanwhile, this dude typed in metal sand image into ChatGPT, which took like 5 seconds to get all 4 of these pictures, and then upscaling it to 4000 by 3000 pixels resolution.
And that's another thing where it's like, you could have just done that. You saw the product, you like the idea, you went on the Panels app, you go to ChatGPT and get it made, right?
Took probably like another 2 minutes or so.
How can he copyright that?
And MKBHD promotes this? I'm disappointed. So I clicked on the artist who made the Metal Sands collection, and he has other pieces like Blurry Flowers. So probably just someone's photo with a Gaussian blur effect on it. Or Flower Field. And oh, what's that? It says AI enhanced. No, my man, that wasn't enhanced by AI. That was AI generated. But that's not even his best art piece. These two are my favorite. The teal and the orange. Yeah, you can pay $12 a month to get
How is that copyrighted?
access to this incredible image of over 10 million orange pixels. You know what? I'll give you this one as a bonus. No, actually, I don't want to get a copyright claim. So I'll
Yeah,
make my
see,
own
it's like he had a copyright claim on it, or a copyright. I don't know what that means.
version. The
You can't copyright a color.
organic orange. Look, we'll create a new project in Photoshop. I'll steal someone's beautiful picture of organic oranges. I'll copy this pixel, no, this one, and bam, organic orange. Download for free in the description below.
Did he follow up? Get the wallpapers here. Hold on. I need to know if he followed through with it. Okay, so it's his wallpaper pack. Oh, he has it. It's there. Man of his word.
Okay, so what's next? The UI. You know, as a designer, I had a lot of trouble understanding some things. It feels not only unfinished, but pretty inconsistent. For example, you have this big banner with your profile picture, which has the same action assigned to it as this action button on the bottom. Also, some icons are completely different styles with random outline thickness. And there's also a problem with spacing, especially if you're using a currency different than US dollars. More about that you'll find in this brilliant juxtaposed video where she redesigned the whole app. As of now, there have been some updates to this app. Marcus Brownlee addressed the community on X, mentioning they've scaled back on the data permissions required by the app. They've also reduced the ad frequency. Now you only need to watch one ad to unlock your wallpaper. However,
Yeah, because I think initially it was like 2 ads to be watched. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some good apps on here or good images on here, but I don't know the detail of the artist to make some. So right here you have this artist. It looks like he follows this like whole rabbit, or not rabbit, robot design aspect. So it's like another one. He follows up with it. Like it's just like going down that list. But there are these certain images, like he talked about these AI images, which now that I'm looking at, I mean, I don't know, how do you like detail something like that where you have to limit an artist using AI? That's crazy.
However, keep in mind that these wallpapers are still in SD quality, and let's be honest, the fact that so many of them are AI generated might not be the selling
Yeah, it's like now that he's saying that, I'm literally going through the app looking and like second guessing all of these apps. Like I don't, it's like this one looks like a pastel like color. Like I don't know. How do I know that this was like created by somebody versus an AI and upscaled by that same person?
point they
Because the entire, like that's what their collection is a whole bunch of these like pastel design colors.
think it is. Regarding the subscription cost, that's staying put. But to justify the premium price, they're promising weekly drops of new content. And whether it adds enough value, well, that's up for debate. Okay, let's
Yeah, here's the thing. You can't promise like a weekly drop. You can't promise like a future update. If the best way for him to do this entire design would have been, I'm creating this marketplace for artists. I like art, so therefore I'm going to be creating a marketplace for artists. The split's going to be 70-30, which is aligned with industry standards. Or if anything, he could have said like upfront it's going to be 90-10 to ensure that the artists want to come onto the platform. And as we scale up, we will have different tiers, levels, and he could have done all of that on the post, right? So essentially he could have created just a marketplace for digital artists. And
can only get an SD
he
version.
ruined it.
Seriously, you expect me to watch 2 unskippable ads for a pixelated image? For someone who criticizes Apple for limiting their regular iPhone displays to 60 Hz, it's pretty funny to be expecting people to be happy with 1080p.
I went back on that.
No, my man, that wasn't enhanced by AI. That was Pixel
We're, like,
understand
right
it's
here.
using a currency different than US dollars. More about that you'll find in this brilliant juxtaposed video where she redesigned the whole app. As of now, there have been some updates to this app. Marcus Brownlee addressed the community on X, mentioning they've scaled back on the data permissions required by the app. They've also reduced the ad frequency. Now you only need to watch one ad to unlock your wallpaper. However, keep in mind that these wallpapers are still in SD quality, and let's be honest, the fact that so many of them are AI generated might not be the selling point they think it is. Regarding the subscription cost, that's staying put. But to justify the premium price, they're promising weekly drops of new content. And whether it adds enough value, well, that's up for debate. Okay, let's get to the quick conclusion. I think the Wallpapers app is not a bad idea itself. Wallpapers are something that we look at hundreds of times a day. It can change our mood, get us inspired, and often there's an artist, a real person who put a lot of effort and love into making it. I can see that. But the reality is that we're used to getting it for free. So if you come up to people and excitingly announce that they can now pay $50 for it, you're not gonna get a lot of enthusiasm. I think this guy on the internet summarized it best. My rule number 1 on the internet that's never been successfully broken is to charge for something that was previously free. Exactly.
I mean, that's just like full circle. Miles ahead. That was a good breakdown. Now, like one thing that like I agree with him on is that wallpapers aspect is not bad. Creating a wallpapers app designed for artists to potentially get commission off of their products is not a bad idea. The problem was how he's trying to implement it as strictly just a wallpapers ad. If MKBHD, like I said again, were to make a digital marketplace to foster content creators or foster digital artists to ensure that they get commissioned, paid fairly, then there wouldn't be any issues, right? But paying $50 a year or $12 a month for what the current version is, you know, that's sort of steep. He could have had like a free ad sponsorship process where he streamlined the process and just made it easier for someone to want to get on his platform, not for downloading a wallpaper, but for wanting to upload digital art for themselves, right? So I don't know, you let me know what you think about this app. You know, panels, you love it, hate it, I don't know. Anyways, if you like these kind of content discussions about the creator economy, you know where to find me. But like, just know content creators are going to find a way to make money, whether it be affiliate marketing, online teaching, subscriptions, brand partnerships, exclusive content, consultations, donations, brand ambassador, another sponsorships, and monetizing already on the platform, social media marketing, advertising, podcasting, sponsor posts, direct marketing, merchandise. There's so many ways for a content creator to make money. They're going to make money regardless. So whether it's you are involved in it or you hate the products, you have to voice your opinions. Either way,